Alastair Gibson. Now, he's a bit of a legend in the racing world. You did 14 years with Formula One, is that right?
Yeah.
As the lead, the chief engineer, mechanic,
I started off as a number one mechanic,
Right.
which sort of went up to chief mechanic, and sort of did 15 years as chief mechanic for various teams. And in fact, we're standing in front of a Benetton B195, which was the first Grand Prix car I worked on in 1995.
Right.
And I decided to do this as a little bit of a homage to the Benetton colours,
Yeah.
and like that. So all my art has got a little bit of a sort of a history of Formula One. What we like to do is show the link between modern engineering and the natural world. So
Yeah.
the Manta is natural world, and we've got modern engineering. So they're all made of carbon fibre.
Yeah.
So my medium is carbon fibre.
Is this the same material that you used for making your racing cars?
Yeah, exactly the same
Isn't
material.
that very expensive? I mean, it's
yeah.
super strong and tough and quite unique material. isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's light, it's strong, it's
Yeah.
durable, and you can mold it into any shape you
Yeah.
want realistically. The process is long, the material is relatively expensive, and it's like it's like a one-shot thing. If you lay up and you got a problem, you only find out when you pull it out of the mold.
Right.
And then either you look at it and hope someone wants to paint a painted manta ray,
Yeah.
or you throw it in the bin.
So unfortunately, they don't come with engines.
Not yet.
Ah.
No, not yet.
Now look,
Yeah.
over here we've got some amazing pieces. Come behind this.
Yeah.
You've got your human skull over there, but tell me about this one first. And I love the way you've mounted it.
Yeah.
I will show that on the camera later, but this is beautiful. It looks like a mold, or did you do it?
No, this
Is it a
is
skull?
There's sort of three ways of doing carbon fibre that I do. So it's in a mold, like we've just seen with
Yeah.
the manta ray. This is a solid block of carbon, 5-axis machined. And I call it Mikumi carbon because it's not the beautiful layers, it's just all distorted carbon put together. And when you machine it, you see this very sort of marbleized effect.
Yes.
I decided to do this specially for this event because it's quite a big thing for me to come and show in the Saatchi.
Yes, absolutely.
And I did this granite base, and then the back here. So this is the.
That looks like
Yeah.
parts of a car.
Yeah, this is a selector barrel.
Yes,
and
all
it
right.
reminds me of a spine. So I sort of extended the spine down for this selector barrel in the gearbox.
Right.
And that clicks around very quickly, which moves the dog rings in and out of gears. Yeah.
So what inspires you to come up with these different shapes? So tell me, we've got a heart over there. It looks like a heart, which is
Yeah.
probably like inspired from being an engine, I suppose.
Well, yeah,
It's got
so-
cylinders coming out
Yeah,
of it.
so
Shall we have a look at this?
Yeah, so the heart is basically, this is a NASCAR distributor.
Of course.
Which distributes the spark.
V8.
Yeah, a V8 with a coil in the middle. So basically what I wanted to do is call something distributed passion. So whether you're a mother or whether
Perfect.
whatever, you've got passion to give to
Yeah.
everybody. And also try and get it sort of as correct medically as possible. So the middle I chose as the lungs.
Yeah.
The top is the top part of your body, which needs oxygen. The bottom is the bottom part
So
of your
the
body.
flow of how the blood normally
Yeah.
goes through the heart
Yeah.
is related correctly
to the
as far
colours as
it-
well.
as
So
far as- yeah.
the blue is unoxygenated,
Yes.
the red is oxygenated.
That's fascinating.
So basically you have the unoxygenated blood coming into the lungs and then going out as oxygenated.
Yeah.
And then all tied into the distributor.
So when you get older and need a transplant or
Yeah.
something goes wrong, will you put this inside you? Will you ask them to transplant it you? Maybe AI could create a new heart for you.
Well,
It'll last forever.
The funny thing is, I've got two attitudes towards this. I think in 200 years' time, when you're 16 and your heart is perfectly formed, they'll take it out and put it aside for when you're older.
Really?
Then they'll give you a dummy heart to last you those sort of pushing crazy
Yes.
years where you're running around with your underpants on your head on fire. And then when you slow down again, they'll put your heart back in for another good 40 years.
Well, I agree and disagree with you because there's all these other bits that go wrong too.
Exactly, we're not
Let's have
talking
a look
about
over
those
here.
now. Yeah.
So what other bit? Let's have. We've got the wonderful skull,
So this
African
is,
Queen
yeah,
here.
So this is called the African. God save the African Queen.
Can I touch it?
Yeah,
Lovely.
sure.
So that's obviously a car part.
Yeah,
isn't
so
it?
that's a dog ring that goes on here.
Right.
So dog ring is basically your gear gets selected with the dog ring.
Okay.
And
Has that actually been in a racing car?
yeah, it has
That's
all
wonderful.
most of the parts of it. These are exhaust bolts from the exhaust system. These are from the hybrid system, so they're gold-plated connectors.
Yes.
And gold is a good conductor of
Yeah.
electricity, so
Yeah.
they gold-plate everything. This is basically the barrel
Yeah.
of the gearbox. So
Yeah.
the dog ring fits in there. The gears are there, so it goes first, second.
Right.
Third, fourth, fifth.
So the parts are all very much relevant to the art, aren't they?
Yeah, relevant to the art, showing the natural world through the eyes of an engineer.
That's right.
So if I saw an African queen, instead of bangles around her head, she'd have basically parts of the Grand Prix car, and this sort of lends itself quite sort of nicely to a bangle. Yeah.
Alistair, this is really exciting. So you've got this amazing exhibition, this incredible location.
Yeah.
How did you get it? How did you get your break?
Well, the break came from an email from the Sofa Art Fair, just saying, we've seen your work. It's very different.
Where was it being displayed then? The Soho Art Fair.
No, the Focus Art Fair. Gave me a call, and they saw my work in different venues in England where I show my work. And they said to me, would you be interested in a space in the Focus Art Fair in London at the Saatchi Gallery? So I thought, aligning my work with Saatchi, and that can't be a bad move. So we went ahead and did it. The biggest reason why we did it is my Michelangelo's.
Can we have a look over here?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Do you sell this art?
Yeah.
I mean, don't laugh, but would you go to a Formula One where there's lots of rich people and have an exhibition there?
Well, this is how I started. When I was in Formula One, I started making smaller pieces, and most of the drivers bought a piece, and then slowly I went on, and then I got an idea. The biggest break was British American Tobacco, our sponsor, Lucky Strike. They bought 3 of my big pieces, which went down to the embankment, their headquarters in the embankment, and they stood next to Rembrandts and stuff like that. So I thought, there must be a little bit of traction. So this is a 4-year project.
I've seen the real version in Florence. Tell me, did you cheat on this one, and or how would you get it so accurately and beautifully done? Did you create a mould of it, or do you mind me asking that? It's quite a skill to be an Angelo.
So basically, this is individual plies of carbon fibre, 8,000 layers.
Oh, I see.
Let me get my little drawing. And
absolutely. Isn't it amazing? Talking to Alastair Gibson, he's the chief engineer with Formula One and everything. It's all made up from parts of cars. So now let's have a look at this.
So if you have a look at this, so basically that's the scan, the original scan we had. We did 50mm blocks, 1 meter wide, 500 deep, and we made 64 of them.
Right, got it.
And then basically what we did is we scanned it, and then we got a contour path 5mm bigger than the actual David. And then from there, we glued them in orientation together, and then machine finished them.
And then you could shave it down with that extra 5mm of forgiving space.
So basically the water jet cut made it slightly bigger, and then we could shape it down. So it's gender fluid.
Yes, I see.
It becomes Davina.
Now, why is the gap there in the heart?
Well, the gap there is our heart's over here.
Okay.
So it depends on how if you have it. So Michelangelo David was obviously a brave guy. He faced Goliath and all that, so he had a Purple Heart.
Yes.
Davina's passionate, a woman, sexy woman. She's got passion, and then the kindness, which we look at the older Davina after sort of 45.
Yes.
And she's got kindness and attention for everybody. So we can decide what heart we want to put in the chest cavity when we actually change it from David to Davina.
Great. Well, let's look at this beautiful squid.
Yeah, so the squid's a Humboldt squid, which is a pretty ruthless. The squid's a Humboldt squid, which is a pretty ruthless animal.
Yes.
So the way it propels itself, it sucks water into there. Yeah. This is a big muscle. It squeezes that. Yeah. The water shoots out the jet, and that's how it propels itself.
Right. By the way, is that how they actually do it?
Yeah.
Organic, naturally.
Yeah.
So that's how they do it. They open up and deflate out.
They open up. The water goes in there. They push it out, which changes the little thing, and it goes out there. So these are the class.
I thought it was done by them swimming, by stretching their legs, but actually it's done by squeezing the body up and down like a balloon.
Basically, this is modern engineering: a jet engine, a water jet, a Hamilton jet, whatever. Yes. So these are the claspers, so they shoot in and out. So they can go 3 times the length of the tentacles. Yep. Tentacles are fixed. That shoots out, grabs the prey, brings it down to the tentacles, and if you can see there, you can see the beak.
Yes, I can see, yes.
And it pulls it into the beak, and that eats it. So it's showing something that's very, very mechanical in construction as a piece of art.
Do you have a favourite piece here? Which is the piece you wouldn't sell or would want lots of money for because you don't want to sell it?
Probably the lion skull.
Lion skull. Listen, you're a legend. This is wonderful. Thanks very much. And we'll send you a link to it. Listen, good luck and good luck.
Yeah, no,
it's wonderful art, really dynamic.